She stared at Chica speechlessly as she entered the house. She felt weak and powerless all of a sudden. She mustered some strength and closed the door behind her. When she got to the sitting room, her children told her that Chica had returned. She nodded at them and told them to finish up their meals so that they can go to bed on time. She then headed straight to her room. She was feeling very tired and exhausted after all the events and drama that happened to her during the day. Her heart couldn't stop pounding in fear as she thought of Chica. She wondered what happened to her and why she decided to come back after a week. Veronica then decided to have a hot bath and relax. When she entered the room, she locked the door behind her and entered the bathroom. After having her bath, she changed into her pajamas and laid on the bed thinking. She was scared because she didn't know Chica's mission and her next move. Soon, Veronica drifted off to sleep. When the children in the living room were all done eating, they left all the plates on the table and went to their room. Later on, they too fell asleep. The next day, Veronica woke up with a bad headache. She checked the time and saw that she had woken up very late and hadn't prepared her children for school. She rushed into her bathroom to freshen up. When she was done, she left her room. When she got to the living room, she was surprised to see her children all dressed in their uniforms and were eating their breakfast. She was confused. She asked them where they got the food and they told her that it was Chica that made the food for them. When Veronica heard that, her heart missed a beat. She rushed to the kitchen to see Chica packing their lunch in their lunch plates. Chica noticed her presence but pretended as if she wasn't aware. Veronica didn't know whether to be scared or happy. She was afraid because she wasn't that comfortable with Chica ever since she came back. She was a bit happy because Chica had saved her by helping her prepare the kids for school. When Chica was done packing the children's lunch, she took the lunch boxes and left the kitchen, leaving Veronica surprised. Veronica decided to open the pots to check what Chica had prepared for her children. When she opened the first pot, she didn't see anything in the pot. She was surprised. She touched the pot and found out that it was very hot. But the pot was clean and empty. Veronica was puzzled. She opened the second pot and saw that it contained only water. Veronica was confused because Chica prepared breakfast and lunch for her kids, but she couldn't find anything in the pots. She checked all the pots and even the trash can but couldn't find a single grain of food. Veronica then decided to go and check her children's lunch boxes. When she entered the living room, she discovered that Chica had already taken the children to school. She was disappointed and confused. She decided to wait for Chica to come back. When Chica came back, she went straight into the kitchen. Veronica followed her and tried to ask her about the food, but she stopped when she saw Chica scooping spoonfuls of spaghetti from the first pot. Veronica was surprised as she stared unbelievably at the pot. Chica then opened the other pot and took 2 fried meats from the pot. Veronica blinked her eyes and wiped them with her dress. Chica placed the plate of food on a tray and carried it to the dining. She then came back to the kitchen to tell Veronica that the food was for her. Veronica told Chica that she wasn't interested in the food. Chica then left the kitchen. Veronica opened the pot again to check, but she didn't still see anything in the 2 pots. Veronica felt as if she was going crazy. She left the kitchen and went to her room. Veronica remembered the incident that happened the previous day involving Sarah and the box of earrings. She decided to call Sarah and beg her, even though she didn't know how the box mysteriously appeared in her bag. She dialed Sarah's number many times, but Sarah didn't pick up. She knew Sarah was still angry. Later that afternoon, Veronica felt very hungry and decided to go and buy some food at a local butcher. Because she didn't have the strength to cook, she went to the kitchen and took a plate. She left the house and started trekking to the bucketeria. As she walked, she thought about the strange thing she witnessed that morning. She wondered if the problem was from her brain or just Chica messing with her. She then thought of her children. Chica had already given them the food before she came out of the room. She hoped they were okay. She made up her mind to stop Chica from preparing food for her again. She later got to the buka and bought her food. After buying it, she trekked back home. Veronica was already tired when she got home. She dropped the food on the dining and headed to the kitchen to take a spoon. She then came back to the dining and sat down on one of the chairs. When she opened the food, she screamed in shock. Instead of the plate of rice she just bought, Veronica could only see a plate of sand. Veronica was scared and angry. She knew it was Chica's handwork. She stood up and shouted Chica's name angrily. Veronica waited for Chica to show up so she could give her peace of mind. When Chica finally showed up and asked why she was being called, Veronica found out that she was mute. She tried to talk but no sound came from her mouth. Veronica was shocked, scared and confused. She tried her best to talk but it felt as if her voice was seized. Chica waited for Veronica to tell her why she was calling her. But Veronica ran out of the dining room in tears. She got to her room and started crying. But still, no sound came from her mouth, which made Veronica cry the more. She didn't know what was happening to her, but she knew that Chica had a hand in it. After crying for a long time, she fell asleep. Veronica woke up some hours later feeling a bit better. She tried to talk again and then found out that her voice was back. She was very happy. Later that evening, Veronica started feeling very hungry because she hadn't eaten anything since morning. She made her way to the kitchen in order to prepare something for her and her children. When she got to the kitchen, she met Chica already cooking. She told Chica to leave the kitchen. Chica told her not to worry about the cooking, but Veronica refused. She sent Chica out of the kitchen. Veronica opened the pot this time and found out that Chica was cooking soup. Veronica emptied all the content of the soup into the sink and then trashed all the remaining ingredients that Chica had prepared into the bin. Veronica washed the pots and cleaned the countertop before she started preparing a fresh meal. When Veronica was almost done with the cooking, her children came back from school. The first thing Veronica asked them was what they ate for lunch, to which they told her that they ate spaghetti. Veronica asked them if they were okay. The children told her that they were okay. Veronica then concluded that Chica was just messing with her brain. Veronica told the children to go to their room and wait for her while she rounded up with her cooking. When she was done cooking, she covered the pot and left the kitchen. She went to her children's room, bathed them and dressed them in their casual wears. Then they all went to the dining together. Veronica dished out their food and took it to the dining. Then they started eating. As they were eating, James started coughing. Veronica handed him a glass of water, but after drinking the water, the coughing still continued, which made Veronica scared. She stood up and went towards him to know what was wrong with him. After some time, the coughing stopped. Veronica was relieved. They continued eating their food in silence. Soon, they finished eating the food. Veronica carried the plates into the kitchen and started washing them. As she was washing the plates, she heard her children screaming from the living room. Veronica rushed to the living room and saw her children clutching their stomachs and chests. Veronica was confused. She rushed to them to ask them what was happening, but they continued crying and screaming while clutching their stomachs. Veronica rushed to her room, grabbed her car keys and rushed back to the living room. Veronica saw Chica coming out of her room and told her to help her carry the children to the car. But Chica sat down on the couch, grabbed the remote and turned on the TV. Veronica rushed to her kids and started carrying them to the car one after the other, while Chica focused on the TV. When Veronica got to the hospital, the children were quickly admitted. Later that day, Veronica got to know that her kids were suffering from severe food poisoning. Veronica was confused because she made the food by herself. and she made sure she disposed of everything Chica had prepared, including the ingredients. She started suspecting Chica again, but she didn't have any evidence to that because Chica was in her room from the time she started cooking to the time the incident happened. Veronica's children remained in the hospital for 3 days receiving treatments before they were later discharged. A week later, Veronica's husband came back from work. Veronica and her children rushed to welcome him. He was surprised to see Chica and asked her why she ran away. Chica glared at Veronica, who immediately closed the topic out of fear by dragging her husband away from the living room playfully. Chica was very angry when she got to know that Veronica lied to her husband about her whereabouts. She sat on the couch boiling in anger. Veronica's husband presented all the gifts he bought for everyone except Chica. He told Chica that he didn't know she was back and promised to buy hers the next day. Chica only nodded. When Veronica collected hers, she unwrapped it and saw that it was a very beautiful pair of shoes. Veronica was so happy. She tried them on and loved them. The children were given toys and clothes. They were also very happy. As Veronica was still walking around with her shoe, suddenly one of the heels of the shoe broke, making Veronica fall. Everyone except Chica was surprised. Veronica's husband went to help her up. He was not really happy because Veronica had spoiled the new shoe he got for her. Veronica tried to explain that she didn't know how it happened. She begged him and he later calmed down. Veronica later entered her room and saw her husband unpacking his clothes. She told him to rest while she helped him unpack. He nodded and left the room. As Veronica was unpacking, she saw the doors of the wardrobe opening and closing on its own accord. Veronica was surprised. It stopped after some time. Veronica was relieved and continued what she was doing. Veronica felt as if the room was dark and looked up only to find out that there were no windows or doors, just 4 walls. Veronica was scared. She moved around the room trying to figure out what went wrong. She started screaming and banging at the wall. Veronica's husband opened the door and rushed into the room when he heard his wife scream. Veronica was surprised. How did the windows and door suddenly appear? Her husband asked her why she was screaming. Veronica didn't know what to say, as it would be a very silly thing to say that the doors and window disappeared. Veronica stammered as she tried to explain. Her husband warned her to stop screaming unnecessarily because she made him panic. As Veronica's husband made to leave, he found out that all the clothes Veronica was arranging on the bed were all torn and shredded. He looked at them in shock and asked Veronica harshly why she had to shred his shirts. Veronica snapped out of her thoughts and looked at the bed. She was very shocked. She tried to explain again that she didn't shred the clothes. Her husband was so angry. Veronica continued pleading and begging. As her husband made to leave the room, Veronica held his shirt and tried to beg him when a pair of scissors fell out of the pocket of her gown. Veronica's husband stared at the scissors and then left the room boiling in anger. Veronica also stared at the pair of scissors speechlessly. She was confused. She didn't bring any scissors when she was coming in. How did the scissors end up in her gown? How did the clothes end up shredded? Veronica ran to the living room in tears in order to beg her husband, but she couldn't find him, the children and Chica anywhere in the house. She sat down and continued crying. She knew her husband was very angry, but she didn't know how the clothes got torn. Later that evening, Chica and the children came back with shopping bags. Veronica asked them about her husband, but they told her that he dropped them in front of the house and drove away. Veronica only nodded. Veronica was surprised to see that Chica's bag was 3 times bigger than her children's bag, which made her jealous and angry. She then told all of them, including Chica, to show her what her husband bought for them. Lizzie got a pair of shoes, a beautiful dress and a small bag. The twins also got a pair of shoes, 2 shirts and 2 shorts each. While Chica got lots of dresses, shoes and jewelry. Chica also got a makeup set and a brand new phone. Veronica was angry. She grabbed the makeup set and the phone from Chica. Chica wanted to protest, but Veronica told her to keep quiet. She took the makeup set and the phone to her room. Veronica's husband came back late that evening. When Veronica saw him, she ran to welcome him. She collected the shopping bag he was holding. Veronica pleaded with her husband and asked for forgiveness about the clothes issue. Her husband told her that it was okay and he was no longer angry. He also told Veronica not to do things that would make him angry again. Veronica was very happy. Her husband told her that the gift inside the bag was for her. She opened the bag with excitement and unwrapped the gift only for her to see another shoe. The shoe was 3 times better than the previous one. Veronica was so happy. She also got some jewelry, perfumes, and a brand new wig. Veronica was so happy. She thanked her husband for the gift. They both had a good meal together that night and talked about Lizzie's 10th year birthday that was coming up. Later on, they retired to bed. Around 1 a.m., Veronica screamed and woke up with a start. Her husband jerked and woke up too. He asked her what the matter was and Veronica told him that she had a very terrible dream. In her dream, she saw a very strange-looking man chasing her and trying to kill her. Her husband was surprised. He later managed to make Veronica fall back asleep. Meanwhile, in Chica's room that same night, a strange-looking man crept out of the wall into Chica's room. He called her and immediately Chica stood up. He then told her that the time had come for Chica to start her mission in the house. He told Chica that she only had 6 months to complete the mission before her time expires. Chica nodded her head. After saying that, the strange man transferred some more dark powers into Chica's body. He then disappeared. Chica went out of her room to the living room, opened the main door and went outside the house in the dark night.